Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Nate the Great coming at you with another live. You already know if you're new to the channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe. So returning friends and family, you already know it's peace and blessings. Give y'all some time to tune in case these notifications ain't go out. Keep going, my guy. I see you up in here. Appreciate you. Brooklyn, what's going on, my guy? See you up in here. See you up in here. Yeah, I ain't gonna be too crazy tonight. But the link is pinned in case anybody do want to chime in on the topic. First things first, hopefully everybody had a blessed and productive Thursday. Hopefully everybody was smoothly able to get through the work day. Hopefully your kids was able to get through the school day. For those that's on a night grind right now, keep your heads held high. Keep grinding, keep doing what you got to do. Hopefully you have a smooth work shift. I already know it's early morning across seas. Again, hopefully y'all doing what's necessary. Angela, baby. Latanya, baby. 22, what's going on, my guy? Didi, baby. See you up in here. See you up in here. Those celebrating birthdays this week and this upcoming weekend. Hopefully, y'all keep yourself safe, vigilant, and observant, but enjoy every moment of life. Another year, another blessing around the sun, definitely. Appreciate everybody that tuned in last night for the conversation. Definitely was one that was needed. And again, these are the conversations that we need to continue to have. It's very important, especially in this critical time. Those that missed it, y'all can definitely catch the replay. Y'all know how I do it. Well, I get crazy. Yeah. I'm tired of putting that up, but yeah. So some of y'all was telling y'all about the situation when it comes to child neglect. And I am going to, again, revisit that one. Those, like I said, catch that replay and definitely share that out. Because, these are the messages that are important. I notice when it comes down to having these positive talks and having these discussions, there's some people that just don't honestly care, but those messages ain't for them in the first place. So, those messages is more for those who are willing to listen and take heed to something. Oh. But like I said, I'm gonna definitely tackle that one again sometime this week. Um, Tonight is a little bit different. Y'all see the title. I had to go and put my little 2 cents on things. See, here's the thing. Don't think that a brother don't be in tune to the streets or in tune to what's going on in the world around me. Yes, I'm a content creator, and yes, I try to bring y'all the best conversations and the best solutions that we could try to get to, which is important. In this situation tonight, though, I had to talk about it. And the reason why I'm talking about it is because I've seen some things that it ain't good looking. And it's sad because it's some women out there that are mostly posting and doing everything along the lines I'm talking about. Some of y'all, the main ones, crying, complaining, and moping about the situation that's going on now. For those that might not be aware, some of y'all who are receiving benefits, whether it's food stamps, public assistance, or the whole nine, some of y'all not going to be getting nothing next month nor December. Now, from what I've seen, there was about $50 million, I believe, that just went to Argentina. I don't know why. Don't want to know why. The reason why I say it like that is because, again, that's another form of Just letting you know that times are changing, things are changing. And it's time for some of y'all to start changing your mind on doing better for yourself. The whole purpose of any form of government assistance is because you're at a impasse in your life. You might be down and out on a job. You might be down and out as far as your financials are concerned. You need that temporary assistance. Cool. I don't knock anybody that I know for a fact might need it. What I do not are the ones that know they don't really need it. Again, the whole form of that government assistance or that temporary assistance is to temporarily help you out until you're back on your feet. I believe once you get any form of income, it doesn't matter if it's being done through social media, through regular workforce, or you got your own business and establishment going. How long you think you're going to keep trying to benefit from a system that's already kind of broken? How long you think you're going to benefit from a system that, again, is showing you that at some points, a lot of y'all are going to have to start getting up and working. See, some of y'all never thought that it would come this far, right? Oh, wait, let me say this too. If it don't apply, let it fly. But how long did you really think you was going to be able to benefit from that system? How long did you think you was going to be able to just milk it? Because from what I see, there's some of y'all that honestly, it's time for y'all to get up and do something. Especially those who are on social media, flaunting how they doing certain things. Yeah, it's about time that a lot of y'all get what's coming to you. Only people I feel bad for in these situations that are happening right now, like prime example with the Section 8. Yes, there are a lot of people that are losing their Section 8s right now as we speak. I can only feel bad for those who really are in dire need of it and can't really do nothing. But I don't believe those are the ones that are mostly getting affected. Because if that was the case, most of them would have been finding some way to make that publicly known. James, what's going on, my guy? It's a fire too, baby. You know, this is all I'm saying. Some of y'all had this notion that you was going to be able to continue to milk the government and pass it along as a lifestyle throughout your family tree, throughout the generations. Not thinking that at some point, certain things can happen to where you're no longer getting those benefits. London, baby. Now think about it. How long you thought you was going to be able to lay on your ass and not do nothing? Not even gain some form of work experience. The whole form of assistance, again, is to help those who temporarily need it until they are able to get back on their feet. Once you have gotten back on your feet, like I said, it doesn't matter what kind of income you get. That's the whole purpose. It's the purpose of getting the income so you don't have to worry about utilizing the government no more. And it really is sad that some of y'all will not say, you know what, let me apply myself. This is why it's important to have some form of trade and also know some form of life skill. And I'm sorry because some of y'all have gotten too entitled and got too accustomed to just taking too much. And the money that you are taking, you are possibly taking away from people who could need it. There's a reason why there's some people who still can't get assistance or still homeless. And some of y'all are the reason why. There's a reason why a lot of people are homeless now and can't get the Section 8, even though they are entitled to have that, they can't get it because we got lazy sack of bones who don't care. Serious, baby. Now, hear me out. I ain't never hear a mother in my life tell their child not to try to get out there and work and do something because you're gonna mess up my Section 8. How do you tell your son not to try to be better in life? How are you trying to stop a child from wanting to work and do something? Like that just sounds selfish in my opinion. No parent at all should try to ever discourage their kid from trying to be independent and work. When your child does hit a certain age, prime example, let them get out there and do what they gotta do. Even if they are gonna be living in the household. Let them get out there and do something. You worried about losing your Section 8. When that boy said he could get his own, or he could probably try to do whatever and get his own. But it goes to show again that some of y'all just plain lazy. You don't want to get up. You don't want. It's like you want traditional values when it comes to certain elements, especially the household shit. But you're not willing to get up and do something. Again, some of y'all thought y'all was gonna be able to do whatever forever, and now you're seeing it ain't the case now. Like I said, I feel bad in instances for the kids who are a part of those situations and having to be possibly homeless or evicted. I feel bad for them because they didn't ask to be in that. There's some of y'all right now where you can still get up and do something, get up and go do something. You know where some of y'all messed up at? And this is another reason why some of y'all, I believe, are losing out on your Section A's and your EBTs. Again, because some of y'all have platforms that you're utilizing, that you're getting paid on. You're getting the income on that. They add that up. Don't think that they're not watching your shit. They're watching. They are watching you. And when you coming on here damn near every day, if not every other day, flaunting your lifestyle or what you think is a lifestyle, you even out here trying to tell people how to manipulate and gain these benefits. What you think gonna happen? You think they not paying attention to some of these platforms like TikTok and Instagram and stuff like that? You're bugging. Come on now. How do you think they finding out certain things? And you can't sit here and say, oh, well, somebody snitched me out. No, you snitching yourself out. When you're sitting here talking about, oh, I'll get paid doing this and I get paid doing that, and plus I'm getting this and plus I'm getting that. You think they're not taking that into consideration? I'm keeping it real with you. Come on, man. Keep what's going on, my guy. See you up in here. See you up in here. Those that just tuned in, make sure y'all hit that like button. Definitely share this out. I don't care. This is getting out tonight. The madness is real because what you see is, I'm sorry, it's downright dastardly because there's no way you could tell me some of y'all upset you're not getting these benefits. You should have thought about this from the stimulus checks. Let's go there. I'm taking it there tonight. Yeah, some of y'all should have thought from when the stimulus packages was coming out that maybe it's about time for some of y'all to really start saving and doing what's necessary. You know what? Let me try to get me a little job. Let me try to find something to do. Let me get some form of income just in case if there's a rainy day and I might not be able to get what the hell I've been getting. At least I will still have something. Some of y'all crying and moping and using your kids as the pawns. Oh, well, how I'm gonna feed my kids? How I'm gonna do this? Do what everybody else is doing right now. Get your ass up, go apply for a job, and go make something happen. Instead of you buying all of these expensive foods or ordering out and do no. How about you get the things that are needed? You're running your mouth on social media too much. Do you think at some point they ain't gonna be taken into consideration? Okay, person saying they doing this. Let's see how far this is going to go. And guess what? For some of y'all, you're going to have to pay that money back once you get caught out there. Prime example for a lot of you Section 8 people, y'all getting kicked out just because you're on social media talking about the shit that you're doing, the shit that you plan on doing. If you ain't supposed to be working, why are you trying to do certain things? Like, there's some people that was trying to run little businesses, run a little side hustle, so on and so forth. If you're not supposed to be working and you got these people damn near paying your whole rent, make that make first of all, make that make sense. I'm gonna be real with you. There's some of y'all, how the hell are you checking EBT balances and everything? And your phone costs $1,000 or better. Some of y'all got trucks. Some of y'all got things that you know for a fact cost more than what the government is giving. You think they ain't adding that up or taking that into consideration? Denise, baby. Come on now. Let's be real. No doubt. Keith, you already, bro. You know, but this is what I'm saying. Who else popped up in here? Susanna, baby. Who else popped up in here? I missed everybody. God damn it. But this is what I'm saying. You're coming on these platforms and you basically showing a blueprint how to scheme and scam and just make certain things a lifestyle. The Section 8 was mostly built for those who, again, can't work or have no form of income. Those is more for like in my opinion, the senior citizens who really can't do much. They're physically and mentally disabled. If you ain't disabled, how the hell are you utilizing Section 8? See, this is my thing. Some of y'all won't apply yourself to the workforce, or you won't apply yourself to try to make something happen. What you'll apply yourself to is scheming and scamming. Again, not thinking that, again, at some point, if they decide, prime example, it's still a government shutdown. It's another reason why you might not be getting nothing next month. Until they could come up with whatever they're going to come up with, you can forget about it. Things you thought you was going to be getting for these next couple of months, you might not. Now, there are some people who are not going to be bothered or disturbed, and that's because, again, these are the legit people that are deserving of the benefits. Well, for everybody else that's not deserving of it, guess what? Y'all about to feel a real pinch. And again, some of y'all using your kids as the pawns. Oh, what you expect me to do? What you expect me to do? We expect you, because now I'm speaking from a taxpayer's perception of it. Where do you think the benefits come from? I'm sorry, but I'm gonna ask that question. Where do you think some of the benefits come from? The taxpayers. We're not responsible for helping you live your life, your quote unquote lavish lifestyle. We're not responsible for taking care of your kids. You're responsible. You're the one that's bringing them into the world. You and the parent or whoever the hell you co-parent with, that's your responsibility, not everybody else's. I don't expect, if I have kids, I don't expect the government or anybody to help me take care of mine. I'm gonna take care of mine the best way possible. Now, unless I really need to lean on it, no. While I'm still able and physically able to do anything, I'll get my ass out and do what I gotta do. And that's the mindset some of y'all should have. And again, how long you thought you was gonna be scheming and scamming or just living it up before it was time for y'all to say, damn, we gotta get back out here in these workforces and do whatever. Like I said, some of the videos that I have seen that's come across my feed, it's sad. And I'm gonna speak to the women that need to hear this shit. Some of y'all are the worst forms. Y'all the worst forms of human beings because again, there's nothing wrong with you that you can't get up and go do something. Stop using these kids as pawns that you can't do this and you can't do that. You can do anything. You choose not to. And for some of y'all, you just gonna keep laying up and having kids and you're gonna utilize shit. And guess what? Come on now. How long you think that's gonna happen before they tell you gotta get your ass up and go do something? Now, if this is supposed to happen the way it's happening, because the way they trying to change things up, once your kids hit a certain age, they ain't gonna be getting no benefits no more. So you gotta think about that. You eventually are gonna have to get up and do something. You, your partner, significant other, whoever you got in your life, you're gonna have to make something work. On that. I'm keeping it real. It's sad that some of y'all really think that this is how it's supposed to be. I don't gotta worry about working a day in my life. As long as I'm getting government help, I'm gonna be all right. I should go because to try to do self elevation. How are you elevating yourself or getting back to any form of living life when you're not trying to be a part of that? You're not trying to do nothing. Again, some of y'all have made bold claims. I'm not getting up to do shit. I'm not going to work. I'm not doing this. Well, you're gonna find yourself homeless without no money and your kids starving. But the shit that pissed me off for some of y'all, and I've heard some males do this shit too, but this is what's pissing me off regardless. A lot of y'all talking about what you gonna do and how you gonna do it. You're putting yourselves out there. It's premeditated, basically. Come on now. Oh, if I can't get this, I'm robbing the stores. Really? So you're gonna rob the stores and take a risk of being locked up? Your kids possibly not being around family? Or possibly getting or going through a system? Like, let's be real. There's no way you can tell me you're comfortable saying I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. So you're gonna risk going to jail or possibly losing your life because you want to try to quote unquote rob and steal. This is what I was talking about as far as the entitlement. To be quite honest, to get those form of benefits is a damn privilege. Ain't no entitlement. That's a privilege. In some instances, it's a privilege to get any form of help from the government. Ain't no, oh, I'm gonna make this a life. I'm a squeeze the hell out this so I can't squeeze it no more. At some point, you're gonna have to rely on yourselves. So that means you're gonna have to get up, go find something that works for you, and then take your butt to work. There's a lot of working parents out there, and I want to explain that to a lot of those who've been on here complaining and crying about this shit. There's a lot of people right now who are still working and doing what's needed, even with a family. Don't use that my child shit as an excuse. No way you could tell me somebody who never had any form of benefits is doing better or not complaining about certain shit that y'all complaining about. You got people who got to work damn near 60 hours, 80 hours out of the damn week just to make ends meet and do whatever need to be done. And y'all crying about having to go to work for a couple hours. Make that make sense. Exactly, Denise. I mean, that's the thing. And this is what some of y'all don't realize. shit you saying out your mouth, being bold, they watching. Again, you're on a public platform telling them what you're gonna do. You think they ain't gonna be looking for you or looking at you? What the hell's wrong with some of y'all? Yeah. Nah, I know, James. That's that part. You gonna keep knowing the times are changing. Like I said, how long you think you're gonna be utilizing the government before they say, you know what, enough is enough? Troop, what's going on, my guy? Come on now. I mean, I'm keeping it real right now. Some of y'all sitting there blatantly telling what you're gonna do and how you're gonna do it. You think they gonna tolerate it this time around? No. Some of these places and some of these establishments are getting back to how they was doing it before. Not gonna allow you to come in here and steal and do whatever, because we already had enough of that. And now those people that was doing that same shit, half of them being locked up as we speak now. So there's a lot of y'all that was out there doing certain things for no reason. And now look, it's coming back to bite you in the ass. Appreciate you for dropping those links, serious baby. Working hard on these damn security cameras, baby. And that's what I'm saying. That generation, it is. Generational welfare is over. Got it, baby. That generational welfare and generational tradition, if you want to call it that, that lifestyle about to be over. Like I said, you don't know what's going to happen in these next few years. And even if everything is said and done, certain things that already have been put into motion, they ain't going to change unless that next person decides to change it. You got to think about it. Some of our debt is coming from what I was speaking about. We got people who are able-bodied and know they could work and won't work because, again, let the government pay for me. Let the government pay for my family. Let the government do this for me. Why should I have to work? You should have to work because you got a family. Come on now. That's the whole fact, Troop. A lot of them about to feel. That's why a lot of them are coming on here crying out. They just trying to use the kids as the pawns. Oh, how I'm supposed to feed my family? How I'm supposed to feed all these mouths? You shouldn't have had all these mouths if that was going to be a problem at some point. Like again, some of y'all had this mindset to say I could do this forever. Not thinking what happens if something does happen. Let's say if we do have a government shutdown. My benefits could still possibly be affected. I need to start saving up. Or you know what? Let me start bulking up and stocking up on the items that I know I'm going to need to feed my family. There's some people that still utilize these supermarkets and meat markets. Get you meat plans. If you could spend $1,000 on a damn cell phone, that same $1,000 could have went towards all groceries in your crib. So just in case of an emergency, you got everything that you need. Bro, my guy. That's what I'm saying. How long you thought that was going to last? Well, I ain't got to worry about nothing. I know I'm going to have something next month. Now, y'all niggas out here crying. Sorry to say it that way, y'all. Y'all know where I'm going with this, though. Now, a lot of y'all out here complaining, crying, bitching, making these videos, or just trying to get sympathy from the people. Nigga, how much sympathy you think you going to get? This is my thing overall. If you ain't financially set in any way, shape, or form to try to take care of a family, don't create one. I would say for some of y'all that might already have one child already out here, don't think about bringing more into the world unless you know you're ready to take care of them on all levels. Why I keep thinking I could just lay on my ass all day? I ain't gotta worry about nothing. Because I know they gonna pay. They gonna do this. They gonna do that. Now again, what is this? Month one? If I'm not mistaken, of this government shutdown? About a month in, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Who knows how long this shit gonna be shut down in some instances. So there's a lot of y'all who are gonna suffer. The ones that are not gonna suffer, again, those are the ones that generally are in dire need of it. But for the rest of y'all, no. There's some of y'all who've been on this damn shit since, shoot, well before the 90s, well before the 2000s. We in 2025 now. How long you think you gonna benefit from that? I heard one person say they've been on all these benefits for 13 years. And my thing is, how long you think you gonna milk the system before at some point you're gonna have to take a loss? And it's not like you trying to work. You don't want to work. If that's not entitlement, I don't know what the hell is right now. That's a whole fact. Like, come on, man, listen. And it's the truth right here. Everybody gonna need some form of temporary assistance because there's gonna be a time where almost anybody is gonna go through some form of possible whatever. Again, I'm not knocking that. If you know you need the help, all right, let me obtain the help. But when you know you in a good space now, shoot, let them benefits go. Some of y'all losing your Section 8 because guess what? There's things that are not being reported. Or even losing some of your housing because again, there's things that is not being reported. You trying to keep it on the low. These niggas know what the hell is going on. Don't think that they don't know. James number 8, what's going on, my guy? $300 ways. Yeah, I mean, this is what I'm saying. There's no way you could tell me you're spending everything possible out of your pockets for things that are not needed. You're spending for the things that you want. Make that make sense. So you want the $1,000 phone. You want the newest game system. And I'm speaking on both cylinders because there are some men out there too who they just not posting up as much as how these women are. Some of these women are really the worst of the worst. When you sit back and listen, look at the mindset. I'm sorry. Same thing with some of the fellas. How y'all get mad over certain shit? At some point, how long you thought you was going to milk the system? I seen a couple people same way. Oh, if I don't get this, oh, I'm doing this. I'm doing this. I got people that know how to set people up. I'm coming in and doing whatever. Okay. These are supposed to be parents, though. These are supposed to be people who are life givers and teachers. And they out here snapping because they not getting no snap. Are you kidding me? From that pandemic, that should have taught you, all right, I got to start really getting myself in order. Let me make sure I got the things needed. Let me make sure I don't have to worry about too much of anything at this time frame. But let me try to get myself up and get my grind on. So this way I won't have to worry about crying about the kids not eating or there's no food in the house. I could be straight. That's what I'm saying. You go think about it. There are people out here who need that and could benefit from that. And in the same damn token, look what you're doing. You can't get mad because you don't got nothing or you're not getting nothing. That's not anybody's fault but yours. Nobody's fault but yours. When you want to sit back, lay on your ass, and act like everything has to be handed to you, you gonna realize that entitlement shit, that shit is over. And right now, where things could be going, even after this shutdown is over. But again, a lot of y'all are gonna have to work. And I don't see how some of y'all could cry when y'all might not get as many hours as a person that don't get benefits. Y'all crying about, oh, I ain't gonna have nothing for the holidays. I'm not gonna have this. I'm not gonna have that. Whose fault is that? That's your fault. That's your fault because you didn't think to say, damn, just in case if something else does occur, let me make sure I at least got something saved up in the stash box. All right, just in case. Even if you don't trust banks and shit like that, there's some of y'all that's still doing the petty cash jars or the lock boxes. Some of y'all probably still stacking money in the house. How hard is it to say, let me go on the stash and see what I got? Come on there. And I'm sorry to sound like that because it's just, that shit is annoying. That's all I kept seeing these last couple days is people crying and moping about not getting something in November. This is something y'all should have been preparing for since 2020. That's the whole fact, Latanya. That's another thing. Y'all sitting over here cashing in and doing certain things. Again, those benefits are made to feed your family or feed you. Some of y'all don't care. You'll cash in damn near all your stamps. So you can't cry about my kids don't got when you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. My kids don't got this. Who fault is that? Who fault is that? Let's keep it real. Whose fault is that? When you want to cash in so you can have cash in your pocket, so you could do certain things, that's not nobody's fault but yours. And again, I knew people who, even when they was on a temporary assistance, they did what they were supposed to do. Once they got back on their feet, they wasn't no longer receiving none of that. They didn't get mad. They was happy. Was happy. Good. I'm making some form of money. I'm able to do what's necessary. You got a family or not. They was happy because again, they didn't have to rely on certain things. And they had to go by certain rules and regulations just to make something happen. What I'm saying, it's sad. You got some of these people crying, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna rob the place, I'm gonna do this. Okay. And you gonna be sitting in jail for what? Now, what you gonna do when all your kids they ain't got their mother? Serious? Get the shotguns ready. How you gonna knock me out my own damn live stream? I must have been cooking. That's why. I noticed that when I'm cooking, y'all want to kick me out my own stream yard. I'm gonna get back on y'all asses later for that shit. Marlene, baby. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you gonna do all this extra added shit and then be behind bars. God knows how long you're gonna be behind bars. You're bugging out right now. Some of y'all just need to stop coming on these platforms and making these idle threats. Because them idle threats ain't doing nothing but putting you in a precarious position. Yeah, don't laugh serious because I'm about to get in their asses next. knocking me out my own stream, y'all, and I'm over here cooking. Stank ass mother. But come on now. How can you get upset? Whose fault is that you got all these kids? Whose fault is it that some of y'all decide to make the decisions that you made? That's your fault. So you think just because you not receiving no government assistance, that gives you the right to try to rob these establishments or try to upset the balance? The balance is already upset to a degree. Yeah, I know. They done did that to me a couple times, but some of y'all done been here. Y'all know this shit already. Tired of their asses. Don't laugh, serious. It's not funny. I'm about to get their asses to you. I'm taking my eulogy gloves out. Somebody catching one tonight. Somebody catching one. I've been fiending. No, but you know, it's just like, come on now. How long did you really think you was gonna be able to milk this damn system before it bit you in the ass? Y'all over here encouraging the madness. Please don't encourage the madness. I retired my eulogy gloves eons ago. Anybody susceptible to one, even you two. Even you. This kind of is a eulogy right now. It's just a soft spoken eulogy. Because I feel bad for the kids that's caught up in these scenarios. I don't feel bad for the adults. I don't feel bad for the adults that was too lazy and fake downtrodden to get up and go do something for themselves. Ain't nothing wrong with your legs, nothing wrong with your spine, nothing wrong with your head, nothing wrong with anything. You don't have no form of health issues at all. Clean bill of health. But you won't get your ass up and say, let me go do something with myself. Let me go do something so I could continue to benefit, so I could continue to elevate and rise. Come on now. Some of y'all was quick to break your necks once these new devices came out. Once these outfits and sneakers came out. So you telling me $1,000 pair of sneakers is more important than having $1,000 in groceries? I'll wait on that one. I'll wait on that one. I ain't messing with you serious. And this kind of is for entertainment purposes, but it ain't. This is a soft-spoken reality check for some people. It's sad that some of y'all again will sit here, cry, bitch, and complain about certain aspects of the game. How long you thought you was gonna be utilizing this shit? Like I said, I feel bad in some scenarios, but I don't feel bad in some scenarios. I feel bad for those who really did get evicted and there's multiple kids involved. I feel bad for the kids because again, they got to go through a portion of the bullshit they shouldn't have to go through. No child should have to worry about being homeless or possibly homeless because they damn parent don't want to get up and make something happen for themselves. How irresponsible could you be? Sorry, but this is an eye opener, and this is also a wake up call for some of y'all that need to hear it. Things are definitely changing, and if you're trying to get up, go do something, you can do something. I'm sorry. Your mindset is messed up. Your mindset basically is fried because there's no way you got people who really need these benefits that they might not be getting them, or they could possibly be affected just like y'all because of that. Let's keep that real. Shit don't make no sense. Crying and moping. Oh, I'm gonna do this. or I'm gonna do that. Now you telling me your life or risking your life trying to quote unquote feed your kids, that's important? That's the move we going with? Come on now. This is not being judgmental. This is being logical. I don't care if you feel like this is judgmental. If you feel it's judgmental, then that means I must have hit your soul somewhere. Because it's sad. Again, some of y'all utilizing these different social media platforms. You're probably getting paid on a lot of these platforms. So what the hell you think gonna happen? You think you're gonna be sitting there getting money every month from the government? You getting money every month from the passive income you getting on social media or even whatever little side hustles and jobs you get. You think them niggas ain't paying attention to that? It just answer me that one question. You really think they not paying attention? Come on now. Put two and two together. Don't make no sense. I'm tired of seeing it. I'm tired of seeing it only because it's like, nigga, what you gonna do about it for real? You gonna really risk putting yourself in jail because, oh, I'm gonna make sure my kids eat. If you want to make sure your kids ate, if you want to make sure your kids kept the roof over their head, you would have been doing what was necessary way from when you first got the assistance or the help, and not try to make that a lifestyle. Yeah, we know. You probably one of those ones that's benefiting off the shit now. Go sit your dumb ass in the corner and think about this, because you probably one of them that's milking the system. Oh, I used to beef with elderly women. Oh, sounded good. Let me explain something to you, dickhead. I don't beef with nobody. I address shit when I need to address it. If you don't know what addressing something in beef is, stop smoking that meth rock in that basement. And since you got so much to say, that link is here in case you got something to say. Other than that, we back to the conversation. Because you probably one of these test tube babies that I'm talking about right now. See, that's what I'm talking about. When you got time to worry about somebody else and you ain't got time to worry about yourself, this is why we losing out on a lot of shit. Right now, you probably one of those same ones that we speaking about. You're crying and utilizing your time to try to make something. Oh, but I'm entitled to it. You ain't entitled to nothing. You're entitled to live. At least until it's time for you to go home. You're entitled to live. You're entitled to make something happen in your life. You're entitled to change your life. But you're not entitled to these benefits. Yeah, that's what I be saying. These are the same ones I'm talking about. Because if you got time to be on here all day worrying about what somebody else is doing, you could have been utilizing your time and effort doing something. And like I said, for the last time, if your punk ass got something to say, don't be a coward. The link is pinned, bitch. Say what you got to say. So I could correct you like how I always correct you. Motherfuckers need to go sit somewhere. And y'all probably the same ones I speak about. You gonna at some point be somewhere else crying and moping. Oh, they cutting off my benefits. Oh, well, you don't need them. Not that one. You don't need them. Get up and go work. Oh no, I moved on already. But they could be a part of this because again, they probably the couple of people I'm speaking about. Get up off your ass and go do something. You don't know what's gonna be happening in these next few years, like I said. If you don't want to be homeless, you don't want to have to worry about where your next meal is coming from, where your kids' next meal is coming from. If you are not physically or mentally disabled, it is not hard for you to get out there in that workforce and go make something happen. If you don't want to work for nobody, cool. But you have to do something and you have to start from somewhere, whether you like it or not. Because how long again you think you're gonna be making this a lifestyle? And that's the problem. Some of y'all made that a lifestyle. Yeah, I ain't gotta worry about nothing. Me and my family gonna always be straight as long as we got this government assistance. But again, you're not thinking about it. There could be certain things that will affect your benefits. So, prime example, right now, some of y'all not getting nothing because of the government shutdown. Some of y'all not gonna be getting nothing possibly ever again, because again, the way they switching up things, they gonna be digging into who really is deserving of these benefits and who's not. Come on then. There's some of y'all that are complaining that can end up getting you, even if it's a part-time job. That's still something. You're still getting some income. Some of y'all need to learn how to budget. I don't need to spend $1,000 on a device when I could spend that $1,000 on the things that are needed. Food, toiletries, all of that. For some places, guess what? They still have pantries, soup kitchens. Some places still have that. And right now, there's a lot of places that are about to start doing how they call it plant meals for a lot of y'all. Because yeah, a lot of y'all gonna cry. Guess what? If your kids go to school, they still could get some free lunch. Some of y'all think y'all that well above to accept any form of help. But again, as a parent, you are supposed to make sure your child has enough food in the house. The family's supposed to have enough food regardless. There's organizations trying to help people, but people don't want to go to. I can believe that, riders. Trust me, I can believe that part. For some of y'all can end up getting some decent relief, at least until you able to get something going. But there's a lot of y'all that don't want to be a part of nothing. So how can you cry and mope and bitch about it? BDBGP, you already know, bro. Chilling, man, chilling. Exactly. Y'all think y'all just gonna be lazy, trying to scam and get over? Nah, them days is over now. A lot of y'all really gonna have to start getting up and working. And my thing is, if you could get the fuck up on any of these platforms, and again try to floss what you have. Oh, let me show y'all what up. If you're supposed to be broke, right? Because some of y'all want to play like you broke. If you're supposed to be broke, how are you affording some of these things that you know cost actual money? Come on, man. Like I said, how could you have $1,000 device when you technically don't got no income? The only income you getting is the government's income. Again, they look into these type of things. And when you coming on these platforms and telling everybody how to do it and how much you should get and oh, this is what you should do and oh, this is how I live and you want to live like you super posh when you living off the government's money. Make that make sense? I can see you doing that if you living off your own. You ain't getting no assistance at all. Then I can see you popping shit and doing what you don't. But for some of y'all, that shit need to chill out. And it's gonna chill out. That's why you're gonna hear a lot more people coming on these platforms complaining and crying about this shit. I don't want to hear that shit no more. Cause like I said, there's certain situations that should have prepared y'all for this. You know what? Let me try to invest in myself and invest in the right type of thing so I can make sure me and my family straight. Nah, it's a whole fact. Yo, B, bro, like a lot of y'all saying the right type of thing. Some of y'all, it's you you got two, $300, $400 wigs on, but you gonna tell me you ain't got no damn food in the crib to last you a whole month. This is what I don't get. Because it seemed to be a trend now. How are some of y'all getting damn near almost $8,000 to $10,000 in benefits from the government all overall? And you ain't think to say, well, let me take care of the most important thing. So I don't have to worry about being homeless. So I don't have to worry about my kids starving. Make that make sense? I mean, real rap. Let's make that make sense. I know people who could take whatever benefits was given to them, and guess what? They would still have food even coming into the following month. And for the ones that was running low on certain things, oh well, I don't got that many children. Or I know my child will mostly eat whatever's being given or whatever is being whatever in here. But there are most people who are going to be logical. Let me make sure I stack up the cabinets, the freezers, all of that. It's sad for some of y'all, and that's the case. That's the case that we see now. Flossing is more important, or stunting is more important than making sure your kids eat, making sure that you have a good roof over your head. Sorry to sound that way, but that shit is sad. And for the ones that's on here making these threats, you're gonna be sorry if you decide to go through with your actions. Just know that part. And again, how does that sound? You're supposed to be a responsible parent, but you're gonna be locked up trying to do something. Make that make sense? So who gonna really take care of those kids? That shit don't make sense. That's a whole nother fact too. Some of these people don't. Some of these people could have the money to pay and do what they need to do. They choose not to do it. I just seen a couple videos where these women was crying and moping, talking about some. Oh, well, uh, I didn't do this and I didn't do that. So you thought you just because there could be a slight issue on certain days, you didn't have to pay your rent. You didn't have to pay your mortgage. Make that make sense. Regardless of what the fuck is going on, you're still supposed to make sure you maintain a roof over your head. And some of y'all making it obvious that you are defrauding the government. Because let's be real. Again, you coming on these platforms talking about all your plans. Oh, I'm planning a vacation. Some of y'all be on site when you on vacation. How can you afford a vacation when you don't even have an income? Again, make that make sense. How the hell could you be going head in everywhere, but you don't have a job? You don't have no form of income. How does that work? That's all I'm saying. You can't cry and mope about not getting these benefits. I can see if you really are in dire need of it and you're being affected. Then I can see you complaining about it. But for the rest of y'all, y'all don't need it. You don't need it. Y'all just want it and don't want to give it up. But now, what if things change all around the board? Let's just say if they do decide to phase out the food stamps little by little, a lot of y'all are definitely going to be affected by it. Don't think that you're not. So that should be your wake up call to say, I got to do something. There's more opportunities than you think there are. But again, you got to want to apply yourself to that. And these are just my views and opinions on it. Some of y'all cannot cry about what's going on when, again, there's nothing wrong with you. There was one person, $10,000 in benefits you getting from the government damn near every month, plus Social Security. This is another reason why I said it. Some of the debt that we have right now is being from the people that is here, milking and scheming. Get your lazy asses up and go do something. Yes, I'm calling you lazy. Sorry to say it that way. I'm calling you lazy because if you can sit here and think I ain't got to do much, guess what? You're showing forms of and showing signs of mental oppression, whether you want to believe it or not. How can you beat oppression when you are willing to still be oppressed in the first place? How can you cry about not having opportunities or not being in a certain place when, again, you're more focused on getting these government benefits? And in some cases, you can end up finding or landing something, whether it's a career or whatever, and can be making more than what the government is giving. Y'all don't want to elevate yourselves. You don't want to sit here and take the time out to go do anything. Some of y'all feel you too entitled to work. At some point, guess what? They're making it clear that you're going to have to. So for some of you lazy men and for some of you lazy women out there, be prepared. For those who is just milking this shit, be prepared to get up, lace up your sneaks, and start going to work. I think it's about that time for some of y'all to do so anyway. Because if you could come on these platforms day in and day out for hours on end and getting all this donations and everything else, again, these are things that are being looked at and added up. You can't cry about, oh, I got to get the government back this money. Yeah, well, what you expected? What you thought you was going to, you think they ain't keeping count of that shit? And especially when they think or probably know that you are able-bodied to work, yeah, they want every last bit of their money back. And if you coming on these platforms, again, telling people how to do things, again, they are going to be looking at you through the thinnest of microscopes. It's going to happen. Oh, how did they know this and how did they know that? Because you're on your public platforms, your paid public platforms, telling the people how you do. Lady Shay, baby. What the hell happened to your rent? I got you. I got you later. They be crying. in the car like ready for Friday. And that's the truth. They already crying now. But what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? It's about time for you to get up and apply yourself to the workforce. That's what you're gonna do. Or for some of y'all that got all these expensive things that could be auctioned off, you better start doing it now. If you gotta sell something just to get what's needed for the household, do so. Again, especially if it's just for show and tell. Some of y'all, you better start selling your purses, your game systems, all of that. And I'm speaking to those that need to hear it. And I'm speaking on both cylinders. Because yes, there are some people out there that are crying just as much as the females are. Nah, it's about that time. About that time y'all learn the value of a dollar. Time for some of y'all to really start getting your feet dirty, getting your hands dirty. Don't worry, I got you later, sis. I ain't even know that happened. Like I said, some people I don't know. You ain't been here in a minute. I don't know what the hell going on. But again, let's be real. Some of y'all need it. This is a wake up call that some of y'all definitely need it. Because again, how long you think you're gonna be milking and benefiting from this? And you hate to hear truth. I noticed that too. There's a lot of y'all that refuse to hear truth. But you're gonna have to hear it, whether you want to or not. You're not gonna be able to lay up on your ass all day and continue to keep gaining and gaining and gaining from this quote unquote government before it's time for you to either start giving back or you're gonna have to start working for that. And for some of y'all, you crying about benefits, you're gonna have to start working for them. And for a lot of y'all, you were supposed to be working. Because if you're getting any form of cash assistance, you are supposed to be technically working for that. And that ain't nothing new. This is something that's been implemented. Again, taken away from countless people who really do need it, families who really could utilize it, just because you don't want to do anything. Get out that mindset. You already know, sis. It's going to be topics that we all going to cover. Because let's keep it a buck now. There's some of y'all who are you're still young enough. You're still young enough to where you could get out and go do something. Find something again that's going to bring you substance and peace. Find something that you know you like to do, no matter what it is, and make it work. Can't get mad about can't get mad about it no more. And at some point, the people ain't gonna want to hear it no more neither. For some of y'all, this should have been an eye opener right there to say yes. If I'm gonna move forward with what I'm doing, or if I'm gonna do this to try to make this as my main source of income, then let me do what's necessary. So this way I don't need to rely on the government no more. For some people that actually need it, that's because they probably in positions as far as work where, again, they probably are just making ends meet, paying rent, paying other bills. If they got a family, that costs. On that. That's the type of lazy mindset and the blueprint that's being passed along to the younger crowd. You ain't got to do this just to get some money. You ain't got to do this just to be fly and to be flossy. If you teaching them how to lay up on their ass all day, at what point do they learn how to work? At what point do they learn some form of work skill? At what form and what time do they get some form of work experience? Just a question. Question that need to be asked. Like I said, the only people I feel bad for are the young ones that are getting caught up in some of these situations. The Section 8 evictions or the food stamps. I only feel bad for the kids in these situations right here. I feel bad for them because, again, some of them are coming from lazy sacks of shit. You don't like what I said? Cool. This is my view and opinion on it. The ones who really are trying and struggling to make ends meet and do whatever, I can't get upset with them. And hopefully those ain't the ones that are going to be affected when they start making all these different changes. Because I honestly feel it should go to those who actually need it, not the ones who don't need it. Call me a hater all you want to. And guess what? At some point, they're going to get tired of, again, y'all, they looking at y'all like, you done been on this shit long enough. You should have been found you a job. You should have been did something. No way you still coming here and recertifying every so often. And that's what I'm saying. You have to work. You have to make something happen. If you just relying on these assistants and these programs, you better think again. Because now, what if they start abolishing some of these programs? The only ones who will be benefiting from them are the ones that actually need it. And even the only bad part about it is for some of them, they're gonna have to prove everything just so they don't get affected. Like I said, a lot of these a lot of these programs are about to either start phasing out or they're gonna completely wipe them out. So what are y'all gonna do? How are you gonna get prepared just in case if that does happen? And again, I'm speaking to those who I know for a fact should take heed to this. You are able bodied. You should be willing to work. Prime example, in any form of life, your next steps in elevation, you got to put work in. Got to look at this from a basketball perspective right now, right? You want to be a great player or you want to be one of the greatest, you're going to have to put the time and effort in. You're going to have to work. Every day you got to work on something. Prime example, you might have to work on your jump shot. You take 1 day or 2 days there working on that. You might have to work on your jumping, your cardio, so on and so forth. You're going to have to work. Some of y'all really got that lazy, entitled mentality. And it's sad to see how many people really are not caring. Y'all want to worry about all the wrong things and the right things that you should be worried about. Y'all don't care until it does start affecting you one way or another. If some of y'all was really thinking about your kids the way you say you are, you wouldn't be putting yourself in this position, or you wouldn't be putting yourself in a worse position. You're gonna have to work at some point. Nothing in life is gonna be handed to you. You're gonna have to work for it. Only way things are being handed to you if you are already coming from a situation where you got a silver spoon in your mouth. And there's a lot of y'all that are coming from the same damn struggles, whether you believe it or not. Some of y'all wasn't born with that silver spoon. Some of y'all wasn't coming from that form of luxury. So again, you're gonna have to work at some point. You're gonna have to apply yourself to life. How are you gonna elevate when you're not taking the necessary steps to elevate? That's just like that's just like prime example. If you got a newspaper route, how you gonna get your newspapers out if you ain't willing to get up and go run along your route? You already know, Lady Shay, appreciate you, baby. Y'all already know if y'all just tuned in, hit the like button. And if y'all new to the channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe. But let's keep it real though. You don't think it's time for some of y'all to show a better aspect of things? Again, nothing in life is going to be handed to you, and nothing in life is free. The things that are free ain't as free as you think. Yeah, you are free to live your life, but you are also free to think for yourself. And when you're in a situation where it's not just yourself no more, you got to think about everybody. So if you have a family, you got a little Clash of Clans army of kids, you got to think about them more than yourself. So what you think you're going to have to do at some point? I'm telling you, there's going to be more people you're going to see that's going to be coming out complaining and crying about this situation here, but ain't none of them going to try to do something outside of what they say they don't. If you got a certain amount of time to try to get yourself in order, you instead of you coming on these platforms crying and moping, you better get the grinding and doing what's necessary. You could possibly still beat that deadline, depending on what it is. Again, this is not being judgmental. This is just being real and logical. We know when it comes to certain things, at some points, you know, certain things will fade out. Same way CDs and DVD players are fading out, or they ain't already faded out. these benefits that everybody been benefiting from is going to fade out. So what does that tell you? At some point, you're going to have to get yourself together. You should want to do the best for yourself while you can. You should feel good and uplifted when you're doing something that you enjoy doing. You should have enough decency and common sense to say, if I do have a family, at least they won't have to struggle. But I'm still going to teach them what's necessary. And for some of y'all, if you could sit here and place your shit on here all day, every day, for hours on end, if this is going to be your main income, you better start balancing out your money now. And hopefully you are not getting any form of assistance. Because I'm not going to say again, everybody, I don't do that. But there are some that need to hear that. And again, if it don't apply, let it fly. Exactly. That is the truth. You know, that's just the nature of life. All good things will come to an end. Then, again, it might have been good for a lot of y'all. But now it's about to start getting spooky. And this should be your wake up and golden opportunity to say, I gotta do better. I gotta want better. If you want to make a change, if you want to make a difference in your own life, you got to be the difference maker. For some of y'all, you need to just get your priorities straight. James, that's not happening. As long as you got cocoa beans and coffee beans, that's not going nowhere. But I get where you're going with that. Pass those cups, son. Pass those cups. I mean, but come on now. I'm just giving a clear observation on things. You gotta think about it. For some of y'all, you was living it good because you had people who really did need the help and assistance and couldn't get it. And these is hardworking people too that just need a little extra assistance, even if it was the bare minimum. And a lot of y'all messed it up for them. There's some people that they make too much anyway on their jobs to get it. And for some of y'all, you made social media, you made everything else your form of income. So what you think was going to happen at some point? You think they wasn't going to pay attention to those faces and those names? Come on now. Some of y'all put this on yourselves. Part of the wind in the background, y'all. Keeping it real though. Keeping it real. Like it's a lot of y'all that place these situations on yourself now. And I feel bad for the young ones because again, they shouldn't have to go through the nonsense. But at some point, it's about to be curtains for a lot of different programs. So I would say this on both ends again, fellas and ladies. It's time for some of y'all to get out of that lying on my ass lazy mindset and let me apply myself and get the ball roll mindset because it's about to get critical. One SP, what's going on? What's going on? I already know if y'all just tuned in, hit the like button. And if y'all new to the channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe. That's all I'm saying. It's just gotta realize that it's gonna be certain things at some point. It really will come to a hope, or it's gonna be a phase. In some instances, y'all already seeing there's certain things that are already phasing out. It might not affect the ones that are generally needing it. It's not gonna affect them, but it will affect the rest of y'all. So what you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Like I said, it's about time to motivate yourself. Motivate yourself for better living, better earnings. And you can make a lot of changes if you apply yourself in different avenues of life. Again, for some of y'all, that entitlement behavior and what you thought you was entitled to, it's about to change up for real. You gotta realize that there's different times now. And right now, this time frame, and for the next couple years, it really is going to be a toss up in some instances. So you have to be mindful when it comes down to your income, especially if you do have a family. Your main focus is to at least keep a roof over your head, especially when you know you can do it. But everything else you need to work for. And for some of y'all that think you're going to get a little boost and a little help, you might, but then that might be your last boost. So, it's time to get the ball rolling for real. There are people out here right now who are making things happen and they don't get a lick of assistance at all. And they're able bodied and they are willing and ready to work. Even if it is working for themselves. Again, remember, you have to start somewhere. You can't start nowhere, do anything if you don't have any form of skills. And for some of y'all, you should have been thinking about that the whole time. Sorry to say it that way, but it's just logical fact for me and my opinion on it. Again, what's to happen if they phase out everything? Now, what are a lot of y'all gonna do? In some instances, I could give my overall opinion. Some of y'all might think twice about bringing life into the world if it gets even more critical. Things are going to get worse before they get better, and we already seeing the signs of that. So I would again encourage a lot of y'all that need to hear that. It's about time to stop being lazy. I gotta keep repeating that because again, this is what's been happening. No more victimhood, no more crying and moping over certain things. Just do what you gotta do for you and yours. If you're not even able to stand on your 2 feet and do the things necessary for you, you can't think about trying to do that with multiple mouths. And if you are, you better get up there and work. Don't matter if it's a part-time, full-time, or anything along those lines. If it's your own business, hey, that's even better. But in the same token, you better know what you're doing, and you better make sure you do the bare minimum that is needed to keep everything in order. Like I said, it's just something that need to be spoken about tonight. The link is pinned in case anybody want to chime in. But yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. In my time of being here, I never thought it would ever get that bad. I feel like an old soul in a young body, but just from the things that I've seen, things that I've come across, it really is sad that some people believe that they're entitled to all these forms of assistance, but you're not assisting yourself and getting into the highest points of life. You want to lay on your ass when you could be actually traveling and doing certain things that are needed, enjoying life, visiting friends and family, living. But again, it's crazy because you gotta remember this one thing: it is your responsibility. It's your responsibility in life to elevate yourself to the highest level, no matter what you decide to do in life. Whatever occupation you decide you're gonna run down, hey, you stick your guns to it, and when you can elevate in other areas, if you can make it work, make it work. You want to turn your side hustle into a main hustle? There's ways to do it. But again, you shouldn't have to rely on the assistance from the government when you pretty much got a decent income in what you do. For some of y'all, I know for a fact, this is how it is. You're getting paid on these platforms, whether it's pennies on the dollar or not. That's still an income coming. Whether it's every month, every 2 weeks, don't matter. If this is how you want to do it, just remember at some point, if you are gaining any form of whatever, you're about to get a rude awakening. So I was saying some instances for some of those things that I've seen recently, it's not so much as that it's karma. This is just the eye opener for a lot of y'all who are thinking about or have already somewhat been around it. It really is time to spark a revolution if you're going to be utilizing your platform. No doubt, James number 8, you still ain't coming here with that pork chop sandwich. Yeah, I know. I know. But yeah, just had to talk about it a little bit tonight. Like I said, that link is pinned in case anybody want to chime in. Like I said, it's always good to get different views and perspectives. I don't mind. From my perspective of things, it really is time for us to spark a revolution for better. We want better for ourselves. We gotta take the initiative. No more victimhood again, like I said. And I'm speaking this as a general message because it's not just my peoples I'm talking to the peoples in general that need to hear this. I'm just going to tell you, no matter what race or creed, if you trying to utilize or have been utilizing these programs for eons, guess what? You're about to get a rude slap in the face. So while you are able to actually produce something and produce for yourself, you better get to doing it now. You never know what's going to happen within the next couple years. Conversation tonight was definitely needed. In some forms, as stern as I was sounding tonight, this is just a real motivational pep talk that is needed for those who want to actually embrace in that message. Times is changing, y'all. Get it together. Gotta be responsible for whatever is supposed to be in our lives. Supposed to be responsible for our families. And yeah, we should want to elevate and do better. Just remember that there's always going to be a workforce one way or another. The things that you was utilizing before about to be fading out. So now you're really gonna have to put your life skills to the test. And for some of y'all who feel like you too good to work, you don't want to work a 9 to 5, you don't want to do whatever, just know when the benefits stop coming, you better start worrying about how you're gonna take care of the necessary things. Things that you think are not important should be the first things on your list for real. And if you claim that your families are the most important, if you willing to loot, steal, scheme, scam, and do everything else along the lines. And again, this is a general message to all the communities that need to hear. If you think shit y'all was doing before is going to still continue to happen throughout the course of time, I'm gonna be one of the first ones to probably tell you it ain't gonna be the case, y'all. They about to switch up on a whole different level on the spectrum of things. If y'all don't get it together, if y'all don't start making the right choices, you're gonna find yourself just like these other ones, crying, moping, and complaining. But it ain't gonna be nobody fault but yours. Because again, while you still got time, better utilize something. But yeah, I appreciate y'all for tuning in tonight. You know I wasn't gonna hold y'all much longer. I'm gonna definitely revisit this. So appreciate everybody that did rock out. Appreciate all the Shadow Mafia and Shadow Babies. Appreciate everybody that's been a part of the build, still becoming a part of the build, and yeah, still gonna have these talks and conversations. Whether it's every day or every other day, doesn't matter. These talks do come to the forefront because we got bigger fish to fry right now. I'm say for some again that need to hear it, you better get all your ducks in order. I don't know what to tell you. what you cried about, and the things you willing to do to try to make certain things happen. Oh, huh? Yeah. Sorry, y'all, but it's time for some of y'all to really put your best foot forward. But yeah, I ain't forget about y'all. Hold on. For those celebrating birthdays this week, I did not forget about y'all. Hopefully, y'all enjoy y'all birthdays. And if you able to see another birthday, again, give your praises where it's due and enjoy every moment of your special day. Word, what's going on, my guy? I ain't even see you up in here. My fault. I'm catching up with the chat, y'all. But I appreciate everybody that was a part of the conversation. Like I said, the link is still pinned. But I mostly wanted to just give my thoughts and opinions on it. Now, I'm sorry. My thought and opinion on it is clear as day. You can't keep crying and you can't keep relying on outside help. At some point, you gotta want to help yourself. You're not helping your cause by coming on these platforms, the same platforms that they're still watching and crying about your situation. You're gonna have to do something. It was just a little motivational pep talk. Apply yourself with what you know. And for some of y'all, again, it don't hurt to start somewhere. Whether it's flipping a burger, doing pest control, whatever it is, whatever's going to give you that sense of worth, get to doing it. And again, the whole goal and purpose is to make sure that you are taking care of yourself and don't need nobody else to take care of you. Jew, baby. Like I said, my view and opinion is that it stands. I feel like I said, a lot of y'all are gonna have to just start applying yourself to some form of work. No more sitting back and relying on any form of assistance when you don't need it. For those that do need it, hopefully you haven't been affected. That entitlement era, that being entitled to these benefits, like I said earlier, that shit is over, y'all. So now you gotta put the nail in the coffin. You're gonna have to do something, or you're gonna be left with nothing. Harsh reality has just been placed on some of y'all. And again, I feel bad for the young ones who are deeply entrenched in these situations. And even for those who don't have families, that are going through it now, y'all can't cry and complain. It's how long you thought you was going to be able to milk and milk and milk and not say at some point, let me do something so I can have my own. I can have my own piece of whatever, and I don't need their help. But yeah, you know, I know some of y'all just coming in, but I ain't gonna hold y'all all night. After being an adult, you already know workflow. But like I said, I think this was an important talk tonight. It definitely was. I got some points across. Because again, it's solely up to you to make your life better. And for some of y'all, you say it's hard to get out there and do anything. It ain't hard. You just have that lazy mindset. Motivate yourself to get back to embracing who you are. Don't be scared to, no, don't be scared. Don't be scared to do good for yourself. Don't ever be scared to elevate. Then again, just do things the right way. If you know you don't really need the help, do not be crying and begging for it. Better yet, shoot, there's no need for you to continue to keep on worrying about this and worrying about that. Worry about keeping a roof over your head and making sure that your kids do eat. At some point, you should have known that's exactly what was going to happen. It was definitely going to start taking away from y'all. So crying and moping about it on these platforms ain't going to make it no better. So I would say for some of y'all again that need to hear it, you better get to figuring out your next steps of execution. Or it's going to be a long winter season for you. I know y'all could do better. Why not be better? Motivate yourself for something greater, not something lesser. But yeah, my bad, y'all. Get myself up out of here. Again, appreciate everybody that tuned in. I know some of y'all just came in. For those tuning in, y'all can definitely catch this replay. Appreciate those who shared me out. Like I said, tonight was just one of those motivational pep talks. It might have sounded like it was rough, but it was coming from a good place nonetheless. Some of y'all need to hear it. But yeah, I might be, let me see how I'm gonna do this. I could be back tomorrow. It might be an early afternoon. Let's see. See how this pans out. A little light convo, maybe some music. Let's see what happens. But hopefully somebody did get some form of motivation out of this talk tonight. Again, in order for you to get to a higher place, you're gonna have to put in the work. Work is something that you're gonna have to do no matter what. You gotta work to be better and work to strive for greatness. You're gonna have to put in those steps regardless to what. No more laying on your butt and no more depending on people to pay for you and your lifestyle. That's a lifestyle you want to live. That's a lifestyle you think is important. And you better find a way to get it without their help. 'Cause that's basically what they telling you. It's over. But yeah, I definitely see y'all tomorrow. And if not, definitely see y'all Saturday. Just wanted to have this light conversation tonight. And I'll revisit this one again. But you know there's going to be more added to this. But today was just the motivational part of it. Oh, wait a minute. Let me think about this real quick. And you'll know when you get the notifications, y'all. I'll figure this out. I could be back tomorrow, definitely. Want to revisit something else too. But yeah, just appreciate all y'all. Definitely was an important conversation that we needed. And again, for those that missed yesterday's, definitely catch that replay. Definitely. Let me get my ass up out of here. If y'all was new to the channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Shout outs to the replay game. Shout outs to the Shadow Mafia and the Shadow Babies. Y'all know what it is, baby. Everybody that was in attendance tonight, y'all already know that love is love and it'll be reciprocated as such. Now, I'm not to be fake. What we do is give you real. That's all I'm gonna do is give you real topics and real bills. Cause see, some of y'all running around these streets. See, man, see. Hopefully, y'all enjoy the rest of your evenings, your mornings across seas, and it's already almost nighttime in other places. Uh huh. Still need my lottery numbers for today. I'm still in here. Still in here. Y'all stay safe. Keep that third eye open. And to the next live, we out of here. Peace and blessings.